Well, welcome to the Botanical Medicine Study course with me, your host and instructor for the online Botanical Medicine Study course. And my name is Stephanie Georgiev. So, in the spirit of trees during this time of Arbor Days, we are exploring many of the medicinal qualities of this wonderful type of plant, which gives us so much. So, what we're going to look in this episode, we will be featuring a very historic and well-loved tree, juniper. Now, junipers, and there are all kinds of them actually, are coniferous trees and shrubs in the genus Juniperus. And this is also called the cypress family or Cupressaceae. Okay, and this is an entire family of conifers. The family includes anywhere from 27 to 30 genre, which also include the junipers and redwoods. So there's lots of members to this wonderful family. Juniper as communis is the common juniper, and this is a species of a small tree or shrub. It's evergreen, a conifer, which means it has some cones involved in it. It has the largest geographical range of any wooden plant uh, in on the world. It just goes everywhere. It goes throughout cool temperatures in the northern hemisphere, and it also does well in colder climates. Juniper was believed to act as a protector from evil spirits in ancient times. It also apparently was a protective negative forces as well as illnesses. This is one of several plants and trees that is mentioned in the Old Testament. And juniper berry has an extensive history of medicinal use in numerous ancient civilizations. In ancient Egypt and Tibet, juniper was highly valued as medicine and was seen as an integral part of religious incense. In several medicinal texts from ancient Egypt, juniper was recorded to be an effective treatment for tapeworms. The crop was also important among many indigenous peoples of various cultures. And each one of these cultures has used juniper for medicinal treatments, specifically for anything to do with the urinary system. It also was used for breathing and respiratory conditions, also for arthritis symptoms and rheumatic disorders. Indigenous people also burned juniper berries to cleanse and purify the air. This lovely tree or bush can be low-lying or a very tall tree. They grow up to 50 feet in height, as you can see in the slide, as well as this lovely historic uh, picture of juniper. It has needles, needle-like, pine-like leaves that which grow in whorls. They're green. And this is a deciduous tree, which means there are male and female cones on separate plants requiring wind pollination to transfer pollen from male to female cones. Male trees or shrubs naturally live longer than female trees or shrubs, and there are some species on the planet of juniper that has actually been alive for more than 2,000 years. Now, the medicinal actions of juniper, this is a plant where everything except the root is being used. The leaves, the branches, and the berries have all been used either together or separately for thousands of years. They've also been used for spiritual purposes. And again, it just depends on the culture. But all of the different places because this grows pretty much everywhere. It just depends on the culture where it's growing, what exactly they're using it. Now, the essential oil of juniper, which is a popular oil, is mostly extracted from the berries, since the berries tend to release a higher quality oil. And then you can see on the slide, this has an anti-inflammatory property. This is why they used to use it for joint problems. The essential oil is also good for things like that. It's very high in antioxidants. So anything that antioxidants are good for, this will definitely help the body. It has antimicrobial properties. It's also a diuretic. This tree has an affinity for the urinary system. It's also considered a carminative, which means it helps stimulate the appetite. And also, if you rub it on the skin, it brings blood to the surface. It's called a rubefacient. Now, other more recent studies are saying that this is a neuroprotective substance, which means it's really good for the nervous system. It also is starting to show some promise in terms of helping even out blood sugar, particularly for people who have diabetes. It can be a little harsh on the kidneys, so definitely work with an experienced herbalist if you have diabetes. But this is showing some really good studies. Also helps to lower blood fats. And as I said before, it's an antimicrobial, which means it's also an antiviral and an antifungal. Um, and the anti-diabetes effect is more due to the berry's high antioxidant levels. So it just does a whole lot of wonderful things. Now, most of us are familiar with juniper essential oil, and this is where they distill the essential oil from the berries. And it has a lovely fresh scent, in my opinion. It's very calming. It has anti-inflammatory properties. A wonderful combination between juniper and wintergreen is an excellent preventative for migraines, especially if you rub that up into the neck and shoulders. Those blood vessels in that area tend to be involved with migraines. So this is a wonderful thing to use either in baths or massages for people who have that tendency. Also has astringent properties. It's also considered a muscle relaxant and an antimicrobial. Now, this is very safe for diffusers, a few drops in the bath, but just don't use it straight on the skin. Make sure to dilute in a carrier oil. That's basically a drop of the essential oil into like a tablespoon of carrier oil. I personally love almond oil. For this type of thing, you can also use jojoba or any type of oil you like, but the almond and the jojoba don't have strong scents, and so it's a nice one for any type of lotion. Now, there are lots of wonderful constituents in there, but the main constituent of juniper berry essential oils are the alpha pinene, sabine, beta myrcene, terpenine, limonene. You can see all of these lovely things there, and basically the terpenes are the ones that contribute to juniper berries essential oils for its wonderful healing properties and also the smell. It just has a nice fresh. When you look at this picture, of course, you expect a nice fresh scent. And as I said, it works well with other essential oils, but my favorite combo is juniper and wintergreen for migraine headaches. It's wonderful for that. Now, cooking with juniper, this is something that, in my experience, is more common in Europe than it is, I would say, in North America. Um, but juniper berries are the key flavoring in gin, which was originally known as Jennifer or juniper. And this was developed in the Netherlands. Juniper berries were used in cooking and for medicinal purposes in ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and ancient Rome. They've also been found in India and other Asian cultures as well. And I'm most familiar with juniper in cheeses, in pâtés, and I also personally really like cooking with juniper when I'm making some sort of red wine sauce for game and beef dishes. It's quite delicious with that. And as always, I have wonderful links for various recipes in the program notes. Now, juniper, surprisingly enough, even though it has such a global distribution, is actually in decline. And particularly in Britain, it was in such a decline naturally that the United Kingdom Biodiversity Action Plan labeled it a priority species. So this means you get special stickers um, and emojis if you start growing these in your gardens. Many um, many of the different colonies, the natural colonies of juniper are very small. So we need to make sure that we grow more of these. The California juniper, which is Juniperus californica, is a native shrub or tree that grows in obviously the southwestern aspect of North America. And it is also a member of the cypress family and is most commonly found in California. This is a wonderful drought tolerant plant, so it's great for your garden if you live in water challenging places. And again, I have links in the program notes for those of you who would like to grow this amazing plant. So, this is Stephanie Georgia saying thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me. I hope this little jaunt through juniper is inspiring you to plant some in your garden, plant it somewhere for this Arbor Month where we honor trees. I also want to remind everybody of the Botanical Medicine Study Course Patreon page. You can become a monthly supporter at several different levels with all sorts of goodies that you can get for that support. And I post new lessons every Friday on the Patreon page. You can get them automatically if you become a monthly sustainer. If you don't want to do that, just make sure to check out the Patreon page because every class is for sale. The session is for sale as individuals. So there's a little bit of economic benefit if you become a regular member, but let's say you only are interested in a couple of the lessons, you can buy them and enjoy them anytime you like. So again, links are in the program notes for those of you who are interested in such things. So this is Stephanie Georgiev once again saying thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me. I hope you come to appreciate this incredible gift from nature. And until next time, be well.